Welcome back to the Shuffle Squad. Zach Lesage here. Today we're going to be covering over one of the new early decks coming out in Surging Sparks, and that's going to be Ceruledge EX. So if you're not familiar with this card, it is a Terra-type Pokemon, evolves from Charcadets, and it has 270 HP, has an attack that does 30 plus 20 for each energy in your discard pile. That might not sound like a lot, but once you get enough energies in there, you're an OHKO machine. You're able to knock out your opponent's Pokemon one by one for only one energy. And since you are Terra type, you do have access to Briar, giving yourself some cool stuff. The build that I have has Legacy energy in it, so it could also be a single prize card Pokemon. I think a build like this is really cool. I like these big energy decks. It really reminds me of Victini Prism Star, a card that brought me to a second place finish at the 2020 Oceania International Championships. So maybe there's something here. It's either going to be a meme or a dream, but we are going to showcase it early on the channel. The list is available in the description. It's not available on PTCG Live yet, but you can play around with it in the Limitless My Decks and any of the tabletop simulators that are available on there. The list that I have is based off some of the early lists that I've seen in Japan from Bokeka Book, so we'll have to see how it ends up going. But right now, I think it's a really cool deck across the board. Excited to showcase it, and again, stay tuned for some more tabletop battles from the Shuffle Squad coming up in the next couple weeks. We're working on some great new content for everyone, so I hope you enjoy it. Let's jump into the deck list. So for us right now, we're looking at the list. Now we have Ceruledge EX doing big things. Its main attack, Abyssal Blaze, is the only attack we're using. We're not going to be using the attack that does 280 damage. We're using the attack Abyssal Blaze 30 plus 20 for each energy in your discard pile. Now it says energy, not basic energy, which means that we're able to go kind of 0 to 100. It only costs the 1 energy, so you slap on a fire or a legacy and you're ripping through. The only special energy we have is Legacy energy. Now we have seen some other lists in Japan that play Jet energy. They might even play Fan Rotom to attack for 70 damage for the singular energy. But I was like, you want to we'll go Legacy energy. The other card that I could consider in this deck is actually Perfect Mixer. It's a new A spec coming out in Surging Sparks. It says search your deck for up to 5 cards and discard them, then shuffle your deck. So that'd be a really great way for you to kind of churn through and add plus 100 to the Ceruledge EX. So in order for you to get some big numbers on the board, you take the base 30 and then everything else is 20 damage. So you need 15 energies in your discard pile in order for you to knock out a Charizard EX. I think that's basically the baseline in this format of knocking out the high end. Anything is less than 15 energies. So we might only need 10 energies to knock out a Pheasantipede, doing 230 anyway. I mean, can we do that a little bit less? If we had 9 energies, yeah, we could do 9 energies actually to knock out a Fez. So you can see like 9 is basically our low end to 15 is our high end. And you might be like, how are we discarding those energies, Zach? You talked about it for 2 minutes now. Well, we have a couple ways. So we have Squawkabilly EX, which allows us to use Squawk and Seize. So you can pitch your hand on that turn 1, discard those energies and try to re-up more energies. We also can kind of churn through and we're able to try to like get out our Charcadets because we have to evolve our Ceruledge from Charcadet. I chose the Charcadet with 70 HP, the single energy attack, because the other ones either had 2 retreat, less HP, or they had an attack that could do more damage, but I didn't think we were gonna get there with our single attachments. Furthermore, to discard cards, we have Drillbur, a card from Temporal Forces, so we might have to get you to dig through your bulk, or maybe we're gonna have to talk to our friends at Kayfabe Cards. You might have to pick up some copies from them. So when you play this card from your hand onto your bench, you may search your deck for up to 3 basic fighting energies and discard them. So that's kind of like a mini Perfect Mixer. That's plus 60 damage right there. We have all of the Carmine, so we can go on our first turn or whatever. We can start playing as supporters. So you can go Carmine, Squawkabilly to pitch on your first turn a lot of cards. We still have Ultra Ball, Earthen Vessel, Radiant Greninja, to discard those cards, Pokestop, and furthermore, we have another card. So not only do we have Drillbur, which is out of your bulk, we have Zamazenta V, a card that I do not think I own a copy of in real life, with its Regal Stance ability. So at the end of your turn, you might want to use this ability because it ends your turn when you use it. you may discard your hand and draw 5. Giving yourselves an opportunity on that first turn, kind of like those Rotoms or any other ability where you end your turn, we're just going to discard more. So basically turn 1, we're trying to get the majority of our damage out there, and we're punching hard for Abyssal Blaze. No thoughts, no nothing, just Abyssal Blaze, knockout, knockout, knockout. So maybe your opponent, even if they're like playing an aggressive deck like Raging Bolt, they knock out your Squawkabilly, you want to put Legacy Energy on your Ceruledge EX, maybe keep the rest of your Sharkadets in play, only single prize card Pokemon in play basically. Your opponent is basically forced to lose the game. And you have Radiant Greninja to draw cards. Then once you're able to fully set up, that's when you're able to put down the Fezandipity. It might not always play out like that, but it's certainly a cool idea. In order to discard some more cards, we also have Professor's Research. And you might be like, we're discarding a lot of things. We have the one of Boss, the one of Briar. We do have a Pal Pad to get those back. So even if we just discard them off a Pokestop or anything like that, we can get those back. If we're forced to take a single prize card Pokemon, we can eventually draw more prize cards with Briar against our opponent's Pokemon, which is kind of cool because we are a Terra Pokemon across the board. We have Pokemon Catcher just kind of living up to the aggressiveness of this deck. So we can bring up whichever Pokemon we want. We can bring up a Pokemon and play Briar at the same time and play Carmine at the same time because we don't have time to play Boss and discard energies. We got Night Stretchers just to get back our pieces that we may or may not discard. And really our energies are split between fires just by being a base energy, fighting energies for that Drillbur to use Dig, 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 and Legacy Energy. And again, I think there's an opportunity where we use Perfect Mixer in this deck. Like, this is just day one. Here's me coming up with an idea. At least I can go ahead, build this deck with some proxies in real life, play some games, and be like, oh, this is where this deck is. We're about a month before the Latin American International Championships. I do not believe this deck is going to be legal, but it should be legal the following week for Sacramento Regionals. Considering a large portion of our channel is based in North America, the next North American event does have Surging Spark legal. So we are trying to kind of cover our content a little bit before we can. On top of just getting everyone prepared for any other event. I mean, it's always fun to look a little bit forward. As I said before, the deck list is available in the description. You could play test with this deck on any of the kind of limitless decks. You could play with any of the PvP tabletop or any of the other tabletop testing, or you could just kind of have the list for reference. It will not work on PTCG Live. If you want to start trying to craft some credits to build these decks, check out ptcglstore.com. You can use code TSS5 to save 5% off your order. We also have Kayfabe cards that should have majority of these cards in stock, and when some of the new cards like Ceruledge come in stock, they're a great place and a reliable source. I use them to get all my cards nowadays, and I'm living out here in Montreal, so it's one of those things. They really help me out a lot. Maybe they'd help you get your cards, but this is a cool list. I'd love to hear some feedback from all y'all. Give this video a like, share, subscribe, and have you tested with Ceruledge? Is there any other deck profile you want to see from Surging Sparks that's completely brand new? We're going to start mixing in this content with our other decks that come out from Stellar. Is it Stellar Miracle? Am I Stellar Crown? Yeah, Stellar Crown. Literally Shrouded Fable into Japanese Stellar Miracle into English's Stellar Crown into Surging Sparks. There's a lot of S's, okay? It's tough for this Pokedad to keep up. But yeah, this is what we got going on for the list. Appreciate PJ for helping me out on the call. He's in Kentucky. I'm here at home for Canadian Thanksgiving weekend. We cooked up a list and we're going to play some gameplay. I'm hoping to beat his butt all the way back to New York when it comes for him playing some games with me. But we'll see. I'm either beating PJ or I'm going to be beating Michelle, who... my lovely wife, a world's competitor that I have living with me. Oh, the joys of marriage, and I am the luckiest guy alive. So it's one of those things, super hyped. Let me close things out. And that's what we got going on with our deck today. I hope you enjoyed learning a little bit more about Ceruledge. Hopefully we have some more great content for you this week. I think it's cool to start looking ahead at some of these decks and seeing exactly what they might do. I think early deck profiles are some of my favorite to cover because you never know if you're unearthing the next deck that I'm taking to an international championships, or maybe it's one of those things where this deck sucks, and I just covered it in its fun because I don't always cover some of the decks that don't like hit within the top 10 or so. So it gives me an opportunity to kind of look around, use the creative side of my brain, and come up with some cool cards. Searching through cards like Drillbur, Zamazenta V, just cards that aren't used, absolutely gets me. Like, that's where I'm at as a player. I'm like, those cards are so cool that they're being utilized in the one deck that makes them work. I think we need to celebrate the different Pokemon, their abilities and uniqueness. And I have I have Ultimate Guard archives filled with cards like this. So maybe I will find a Zamazenta out of a card where I'm like, I saved this one for later, I know it might be good. And maybe I won't. And like I said, that's why we have Kayfabe cards and PTCGL store to bail us out. And maybe they'll help you get those cards that you need too. Again, let me know what you think about this deck. Let me know what deck profiles you want to see coming up on the channel. And we'll catch up with all y'all soon. I'm going to continuously prepare for the Latin American International Championships in Sao Paulo, Brazil. A lot of tongue twisters for me today. Super excited to go back to Brazil. I think it's probably going to be my 5th or 6th time there. Absolutely lovely country, and I'm hoping to win the title of the international championships. In 2018 I made top 8 at that tournament, so really close to kind of getting that title. Would love to reach that height again. If you're looking for any assistance getting coached for that event, or just trying to up your gameplay for any events going on, hit me up for some coaching. Other than that, I will catch up with all y'all later. I mean, it's Saturday night at the time of the recording, so I'm gonna get myself some dinner and honestly get ready. We have Canadian Thanksgiving tomorrow, so got a little bit of packing going on, a little bit of a drive over to my brother's house. Super excited for that. And that's why I'm not in Louisville, by the way. So, and just really a great time overall. So I will catch up with all y'all later. Peace out and have a great one. Want to support the Shuffle Squad? Be sure to check out all of our sponsors in the description to pick up Pokemon TCG singles, sealed, and PTCG live codes. You made it to the end. Thank you so much for watching this entire video from the Shuffle Squad. Honestly, from the bottom of our hearts, we appreciate each and every person that supports our content, watches what we have going on every single day, every single week, even from time to time, and continuously allows us to have a forum to project our creative content towards the Pokemon TCG community. So if you haven't already, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and even leave a comment to help boost the YouTube algorithm. That being said, we'll catch you with our next video. Thanks again. Take it easy.